Morning, RedKey Realty leaders. It's Laura Pierson, and I'm going to talk to you today. I noticed that the encouragement for today was 5 phone calls, and so I just wanted to talk through a little bit what those phone calls could look like for you in ways, things that you can talk about that don't have to necessarily have to do with real estate, just to make it a little easier to pick up the phone and to think about connecting with people. And I'm not reading from notes today, so we'll see if you come out in droves to ask me to go back to that. I'm going to try not to ramble because that's one reason why I use notes. But here we go. So, the thing about the phone calls is that I know it trips people up sometimes, and I often hear, that's not for me. That's not the way that I'm going to generate business. And so I just want to encourage you in a couple of things. One is that if you do the consistent and persistent marketing that we suggest that you do, if you have a database and you have it set up so that people are getting monthly newsletter emails from you, if you're involved with the AMP program with the print marketing or some other way that you are continuing to market through print to people, if you're leveraging social media the way we've talked about to just remind people that you're in real estate, then when you make these phone calls, when you connect with people, it's truly about building relationships and about checking in on them and connecting, and not about reminding people you're in real estate, and not about asking them, who do you know who wants to buy and sell. It doesn't have to be that conversation. And Sean says this a lot, actually, that the conversations that you have with people right now can just be about COVID and how that's affecting them. So I'm going to go through a few things, and for some of you it might just feel like, duh, this is information that I already know. But if there's even one little nugget of an idea in here that will help you to actually pick up the phone and connect with people, then it'll feel worth it for me. The one thing I just was thinking back on what I have been doing the last couple of weeks just to connect with people. And so I'm just going to share with you some of the things that I've been doing and thinking about as ways to connect around COVID and what's happening right now. I have 3 kids. I have a going to be college sophomore and a high school senior and a 7th grader. And so some of the conversations that I've been having has just been around issues having to do with COVID, around having a college student. I've talked to some of my son's friends' parents about, what are you hearing from your college? And what are they saying about the fall? And then also, just how has it been for you having a college student at home since the middle of March? It's, we're so many months into it now, and just kind of, how is this affecting your family, and how are you feeling about it, and how's that going for you? And then with a high school senior, I had a conversation with a friend yesterday who also has a high school senior, and said, what are you doing about college visits? And I called a friend of mine who works at Wash U, and I said, what are you hearing about the ACT? Is this something that I need to be more concerned about? And what do you think that's going to look like? And so just connecting with people around mutual issues having to do with what's going on right now. And then also I have friends who are teachers and college professors, and just talking to them about how this is affecting them, and what they're thinking and feeling about the fall. And, I contacted one teacher friend of mine, and I said, I saw this article about high risk, like teachers who are medically high risk, and thinking about going back to school, and how's that affecting you, and how are you feeling about it, and is there anything that I can do to support you, or if you want to talk about it, let me know. Also thinking about friends of yours who may be pregnant, or who have a daughter or a daughter-in-law who's pregnant, and just connecting with them. I just was thinking about you. How is your daughter doing? How is she feeling about being pregnant right now, and giving birth? And, is there anything that your family needs about that? Also, I have a friend I talked to last week about the fact that her mother-in-law is in a nursing home, and they were just starting to open things back up, and they were trying to make doctor's appointments for her and stuff, because they literally have not seen her for months, except with glass between them. So just kind of connecting around and with this friend, it was more like, how is your husband doing? How is this affecting him? You know, how are your kids doing about seeing their grandmother, and all of these ways that are just ways of supporting people and checking in with them and seeing how they're doing. And you don't have to talk about the fact that you're in real estate, especially if you're using these other things to remind people of real estate and the fact that you're in real estate. What they will do is, when they have a real estate problem, or I had a friend who called me for an electrician. Do you have the name of an electrician? Well, of course I do. So I sent that right over to her. So if there are any real estate problems, they'll reach out to you. But then also, when they get to the point where they want to buy and sell, they'll remember that you're in real estate because of the marketing that you've done and the social media that you're involved in. And then they'll remember how much they like you because you've just stayed in touch with them. You've connected with them. You've built relationships with them. And that's really what this is all about. So if there's anything that I can do, here I go saying the same thing that I say to everybody on the phone. But honestly, if there's anything that I can do to help you in your business to think through any parts of this, making phone calls, or if you want to just talk about some things that you can, that are specific to you, that you would feel comfortable reaching out to people about. If you want to bounce some ideas or you want to practice phone calls with me, I'm always here to help you. So please let me know. And I really would encourage you just to pick up the phone today and try calling 5 people and try just talking about the things that you have in common and see how that goes. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I will talk to you later.